Locate.
So everyone hold Wolf and New Raleigh.
Oh shit.
I'll get in.
You get him, boys.
Good day there, once again viewers, your mate Kamikaze78 here. So guys, the developers over at Offworld Studios have recently released some more tidbits as to what's been going on behind the scenes for their Milsim Games squad, more specifically how the development for Alpha 10 of the game is coming along. On the 31st of the 5th, a new development diary went live that brought about some extra details on some of the upcoming features that we kinda already knew were on the way, but it also shed some light on some pretty interesting new additions to that list of coming things as well. So hey, some pretty swell surprises in there as well. So the first thing that we're going to talk about in this video, and is easily the thing that is taking the developers the longest amount of time to do in preparation for version 10, is the animations overhaul. And trust me, as someone who has done some basic level study of games design and programming, animations and stringing said animations together smoothly is one of the hardest things to do in the world of game design. But to then have to redesign the entire animation system later down the track, and not just change a couple of animations here and there, to redesign the entire system is an even harder task to accomplish. So I really do have to commend the developers for being willing to go back and polish up on things that they knew were in need of work. I've said it many times before, and I will say it many times again, the guys working on Squad really are a shining example within the gaming community when it comes to listening to player feedback, acting on it, and being willing to go back over old systems that need refinement. And I'm not just talking about making balance passes or slight changes to damage models and such. I'm talking about taking core systems of your game, or backbone things, and realizing that they need updating and going forward with making those said updates despite the amount of work that it's going to entail. Not many developers, especially within the early access community, address this element of game design quite as well as they do, and they have to be commended for that. Anyway, what can we expect out of this animation overhaul exactly? Well, quite a lot to be honest. Due to all of the changes that are being made to the system, all animations relating to weapons and vehicles have to be completely redone, and on top of that, new systems and features are being added through this animation overhaul as well, just as the icing on the cake here. If I'm being 100% honest, I'm not entirely sure which part of the animation overhaul I'm looking forward to the most. One of the key things coming out of this animation overhaul is the free look feature, a feature that can be seen in games like Arma and PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds that allows you to turn your head freely from your body, which to my mind is a feature that Squad has been needing for a stupidly long time now. Right now, the only way to check your flank while you are, say, running from objective to objective with your squad is to stop sprinting, turn your entire body to check that flank, and then turn back to the direction that you were meant to be running in the first place, and then be on your merry way. Having the free look feature in the game will put an end to this awkward procedure, if you will, and will make for gameplay that relies more on situational awareness. Another feature that is coming in tandem with the overhaul is a vault. So no more do you have to do the awkward jump crouch combination on just the right angle to get over that fucking picket fence. Honestly, thank the Lord that the vault feature is coming to the game. The animation for getting into and out of the prone position is also being improved, so as opposed to how your character simply belly flops onto the ground like he does now using his face as a landing strip, he actually, you know, gets down on the ground how a normal person would. Now this should hopefully result in a little bit less drop shotting in the game, which will make CQC engagements feel a tad bit more realistic, and engagements over the crest of hills should feel a little bit less like a whack-a-mole match, which will again result in more realistic gameplay. And just because that all wasn't really enough, a proper bipod system is being added to the game, which is going to add about a million more ways for the automatic rifleman class to be effective, so no longer are they restricted by having to be in prone to be accurate. Now they can actually use that, well, low fence that they've always wished they could have used in the first place. Anyway, there's also a melee functionality being added to the game as well, so you will also see the shovel double up as a weapon. So just in case you really want to brutally fucking batter someone down, you can now do it with your shovel. And there is also a new idling animation coming to the game for when you don't ADS for a while, just cause Why not, yo? Immersion. But just because the developers thought that overhauling the entire animation system of the game wasn't enough, they also announced that helicopters, of all things, are now in the works. In this latest development diary, screen caps of the UH-60M Black Hawk model were included along with a description of how the helicopter is planned to fit in the game currently. Now currently, it is designed to carry 11 passengers and 4 crew members and is able to ferry supplies to and from FOBs, which will be something else to consider when it comes to choosing where to place down an FOB in the future when helicopters actually make it into the game. That being, can a helicopter actually reach this FOB site? In tandem with the announcement of helicopter development, images for the ZU-23AA gun were also released, which is sure to serve as the terrorist and militia's primary counter against these helicopters, at least in the early stages of their implementation. I gotta tell you guys, I for one am so damn keen to see aircraft added to the game. It will be a fresh new dynamic that will present both new opportunities and risks to the ways that battles play out, and if there is one thing that Squad does right, it's dynamic battles, so anything that improves on that element of the game even further is a good thing in my books. And on top of all the new major systems, a couple of new weapons were also hinted, the bigger of the pair being the RPG-29, a heavy AT rifle that excels at dealing with the world's most modern armor systems. But to me, and I know this is going to sound really weird, but hold your horses here, the more interesting weapon that was shown in this development diary was the ELF-131A1 pistol, which is the Gen 4 version of the Glock 17. Why is this weapon more interesting in my books? Well, the developers made a very clear note of this weapon being the standard issue sidearm of the British Armed Forces in that development diary, which makes me wonder, are the British on their way to the game? I'm not about to complain about variety, so fuck yes to the British. And folks, beyond a couple of extra notes in regards to map design and map updates and all that jazz, that pretty much wraps up all of the major talking points of this development diary for Squad. And as a closing note, guys, I've really got to say that Squad is easily shaping up to be one of the best milsim games on the market right now. Just everything about this game screams realism, and it does it in a way that is still attractive to new players in the sense that it's not too hard to learn. You can still very easily pick up Squad, learn how to play it, and still have a good time after a couple practice matches. I can't stress this enough. If you like milsim games but you don't own Squad yet, for the love of God, go out and buy Squad. It's worth every penny, and with the upcoming updates that are in development right now, it's definitely going to be even more worth it once those updates hit the live servers. The future for this game is very, very promising. And my friends, with all that said, that's going to wrap up today's video discussing the development diary for Squad that went live on the 31st of the 5th, 2017. Guys, if you enjoyed today's video, a backhanding of that like button would be greatly appreciated. If you've got any feedback for today's video, whether it be in the form of commentary, gameplay, editing, whatever the case may be, guys, I'd love to hear what you have to say in the comment section down below. And if you find yourself backhanding that like button and you're new to the channel, why don't you go backhand that subscribe button whilst you're at it to keep up to date with the content in which I'm releasing here on my channel. Once again, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Peace out, and I'll be seeing you all next time. Have a good one.